What's going on, guys? Jordan here, and today I'm going to debunk one of the biggest myths in sports betting. Everyone refers to parlays as a sucker's bet. And for those that don't know, a parlay is when you find multiple bets and you put them together and you have to win them all to make money. If you make a 5-leg parlay and you win 4 out of the 5, you get 0. But if you win 5 out of 5, you get a huge payout. Well, most people say, if you want to have success sports betting, you have to stop making parlays and you have to start making straight bets. Well, that's not really the case, and I'll show you why. So now I'm going to show you guys first how to make kind of your average run-of-the-mill parlay that unfortunately will result in you losing money in the long run, versus making a profitable parlay that will result in you profiting in the long run. So right now, we'll just take White Sox over 7.5 minus 105. We'll take Yankees over 7.5 at minus 115. Now we'll look here and we can see all the books are kind of in agreement that it should be around minus 110. FanDuel is giving us the best price, tied with Hard Rock, but you can see for the most part, there isn't any type of discrepancy. There's no edge by taking it on FanDuel at minus 105. And with the Guardians-Yankees game, I mean, they're awful, right? There's plenty of other books that are offering better odds than that minus 115. They're tied for the worst odds at minus 115. But if you were to parlay those, you would get a plus 265 payout. And, to the naked eye, you're like, oh, those two games seem pretty good. At 265, it feels like an absolute steal. Well, the catch is you have to win both. So even if it seems good, they're not independent variables. They're actually dependent variables because you need both to win in order for you to get that plus 265 payout. If one leg lost and one leg won, well, guess what? You would lose your stake because you need both to win. That's the difference between a parlay and a straight bet. Parlays have longer odds and it's a bigger payout, but there's a lot more that goes into it versus a straight bet where if you go 1-1, you lose on the VIG, you call it a day. But that's the thing, in the long run, this isn't going to be profit, okay? The only way to profit is to find positive EV plays that you can parlay. So I was looking and I saw these two that, I absolutely love. We got Nationals Angels over 8.5 at plus 140 on Hard Rock. And we've got A's Orioles over 8.5 at plus 120 on Hard Rock. You can see the no vig line is at 125.42, and the no vig line here is 106.85. So I put these odds into the parlay calculator, and you could see that at the no vig fair odds, if you were to put $100 on it, the parlay odds would be 366.28, which means that you would win 466.28, including your principal. So this is going to be your profit. This is going to be the total payout. But that's if you were to take the no vig line. But we're not doing that. We found plays with edges. So using the odds that we can actually get, our parlay odds are actually plus 428 versus the plus 366.28, which means that our profit is going to be 428 and our total payout, including principal, is going to be 528. That's a massive difference. That's like an $80, what is that, a $60 difference, $62 difference. And that's where your edge is. If you knew that every single time that you placed that bet and you put $100 on it, you had that type of discrepancy in the long run, that's going to result in you profiting off of this. The same way that the sports books use math to determine their odds, to determine their lines, all that stuff. We're just using math to find edges. We're using math to find these discrepancies in the market. And we know that in the long run, this stuff balances out. It's all law of large numbers, right? There's a reason they set the odds at what they do. It's not like they just pull these numbers out of a hat. And all we're doing is we're using those odds against them to find profitable parlays. And I'll be honest, I like parlays. I always enjoyed it. When I first started sports betting, and this is when I was still losing all the time, it felt like I loved parlays. It was fun, but I wasn't doing it responsibly, and it resulted in me losing a lot of money. So if you want to make parlays, by all means, but do it where you're finding positive EV plays, because that even though you're having fun, you're also going to be making money in the long run, and that's what matters the most. So that's about it, guys. As always, make sure to comment down below if you have any questions for me. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And that's all for me, guys.